Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always.
Awesome. So today we're tackling one of the most legendary transformations in comics, right? Jean Grey and the Phoenix Force.
It's a wild one.
It is. And, it can be kind of confusing. So we've got some in-universe documents about the Phoenix Force, and we're going to, try to sort it all out.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so let's start with the basics before we even get to Jean. What exactly is this Phoenix Force? I mean, it's described as this like primal energy almost, the spark of creation, and also the flame of destruction. Kind of contradictory, don't you think?
Well, it's not just like a catchy phrase, The Phoenix Force, it really does represent that cosmic balance, the natural cycles of life and death, and then rebirth. It's all got to happen for the universe to actually evolve.
So it's like a universal reset button.
Exactly. And there's this story about the demon lords of stasis. They were these aliens who used magic to stop evolution on their whole planet.
Seriously?
Yeah. Scared to change, I guess. The Phoenix Force wasn't having it. Yep.
So what happened?
It bonded with one of them, broke the spell, and basically hit refresh on the whole world.
Oh.
Like a cosmic forest fire, Clears everything out, new stuff can grow.
That's intense. I mean, we're talking billions of years ago, and it was already shaking things up.
Yeah.
Our notes also talk about the Phoenix having these lights, like disciples, 5 of them, who help the host handle all that power.
Yeah, the 5 lights. They're definitely important. We might see them pop up again later, so keep that in mind.
Okay, we'll do. Now, another thing that's kind of mind-blowing, the Phoenix Force has had of hosts before Jean, a Viking warrior,
Yeah.
and a 15th century Iron Fist. Feng Jiwu, I think?
Yeah, that's right. And there are more. It's this pattern, the Phoenix finding someone, using them to do its thing.
Makes you wonder just how many times this has happened throughout history. But okay, let's get to Jean. It's crazy how early the Phoenix seemed to notice her, right? When she was just a kid, she's psychically linked with her dying friend, Annie.
That's a pretty heavy experience, especially for someone so young. But it's super important because using her powers like that, right on the edge of death, Jean basically sent out a signal, like a cosmic flare, And the Phoenix Force, it picked up on that.
Huh. So then, years later, we have that whole space shuttle incident. Jean's dying from radiation. Things are looking pretty bad for the X-Men. And then, bam, Phoenix to the rescue.
Right. But it's not just a straightforward rescue. The Phoenix, it offers Jean her heart's desire to live and to protect her friends.
Yeah, and to do that, the Phoenix basically takes over Jean's body, makes a duplicate while the real Jean is healing in this cosmic cocoon thing.
Down at the bottom of Jamaica Bay, no less.
Right. Crazy. I mean, imagine if someone copied you perfectly. Your looks, your thoughts, everything. Would they actually be you? And the X-Men, they had no clue. This powerful cosmic entity was walking around pretending to be Jean.
Yeah, they were completely fooled. But hey, Phoenix's Jean, she did some pretty impressive stuff. Taking on Firelord, Magneto, even healed that crystal, that nexus of all reality.
Right. That's some serious power. I mean, holding the entire universe together, that's not something you see every day.
And yet, even with all that power, it's like the Phoenix was holding back.
Yeah.
Subconsciously. Almost like it knew things could go really bad if it let loose completely.
Yeah, some serious foreshadowing there. But even pretending to be Jean, the Phoenix didn't always act heroically. Remember what happened with Kitty Pryde's parents?
Oh, yeah.
Just went into their minds, changed their opinions about mutants. That's pretty messed up. Kind of controlling, don't you think?
Definitely.
And speaking of controlling, that's when we get to the Hellfire Club.
The Hellfire Club, they saw an opportunity, The Phoenix, all that power, but also kind of naive, especially about human stuff.
Yeah, right from manipulation. And Mastermind, he was the mastermind behind it all, right? Illusions, psychological tricks. They basically built this fantasy world for the Phoenix.
Oh yeah, convinced it that it was actually this 18th century noblewoman, Lady Grey, Mastermind's supposed lover, and the Hellfire Club. That was its true home.
Wow. Talk about playing with someone's head. And the Phoenix just went along with it.
It was being manipulated, yeah. Mastermind, he knew how to push the right buttons, emotionally speaking, and with the Phoenix's power amplifying everything, it went from reading minds to rewriting reality.
Sheesh, no wonder the X-Men tried to step in. But didn't go so well for Cyclops, did it?
Yeah. Psychic duel with Mastermind and Cyclops. Well, he lost, got taken out. That was a turning point, I think.
Yeah, I bet. Even with the Phoenix's power, seeing the person you love get defeated like that.
It shattered the illusion that Mastermind had created, but it also It also broke that last bit of Jean's control. The subconscious hold she had on the Phoenix, gone.
And that's when things get really dark, right?
Yeah, Dark Phoenix. Not just Jean with some extra power or even like a bad mood. This was raw, cosmic energy, completely unleashed.
Like, remember that whole thing about creation and destruction being two sides of the same coin?
Right.
Well, now that coin was flipped and it landed on destruction. Hard.
The Debari star, right. The Dark Phoenix just absorbed all its energy. Gone. A whole solar system wiped out just like that.
Billions of lives. I mean, talk about consequences. It really makes you think, you know? Even with good intentions, this much power. It's terrifying.
Absolutely. And the Shi'ar Empire, they saw that firsthand. They panicked, thought their whole civilization was next, figured they had to stop the Dark Phoenix no matter what.
Even if it meant blowing up our solar system.
They were desperate. Lilandra, the Empress, she made a tough call. Lose-lose situation, really.
Yeah. And the X-Men. Stuck right in the middle. Trying to save Jean, but also facing down the entire Shi'ar Imperial Guard.
Talk about pressure. It all led to this big showdown, right? Duel on the moon, fate of the solar system hanging in the balance. The X-Men, they were fighting for Jean, for their friend. And the Shi'ar, they were fighting for their survival.
It's a classic comic book setup, isn't it? But this time, the stakes were, like, cosmic.
For real. And in the end, Jean, the Phoenix, controlling her body, it realized there was only one way to stop the destruction.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, she used this ancient Kree weapon, ended her own life. Brutal, but also kind of noble, you know, trying to protect everyone else.
Tragic ending. But like you said earlier, the story doesn't end there, does it?
Nope. Even in death, the Phoenix Force, it sticks around. Madeline Pryor, remember her? Jean's clone.
Oh, yeah. What was the deal again?
Well, a piece of the Phoenix Force, it kind of accidentally transferred to Madeline when Jean died. Gave her life, but also messed with her memories. Badly.
So even after death, the Phoenix was still connected to Jean, in a way. It's like it couldn't let go.
And there's more. Rachel Summers, Jean's daughter, but from another timeline.
Okay, this is getting complicated.
It is. But the point is, Rachel, she becomes a Phoenix host too. Taps into that cosmic power. So it's like this inheritance thing, you know? The Phoenix's influence passing down through generations, its echoes rippling through time and space, always touching those connected to Jean. Yeah, that's a lot to keep track of. But hey, we're talking cosmic forces here, multiversal stuff. It's going to get a little messy.
True enough. So, where were we? Oh, right. Jean's legacy. It's not just Madeline and Rachel, right? I mean, our sources mention Cyclops even getting his hands on a Phoenix egg at some point.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of a big deal. I mean, think about it. Cyclops, he gets this Phoenix egg. That takes a lot of faith in Jean and in the Phoenix Force itself. Even after everything that happened, he still believed there was good in there.
So what happened? Did he, like, make an omelet?
Not exactly. It actually hatches during this whole multiversal crisis thing.
Of course it does. Why wouldn't it?
And Cyclops, he bonds with the Phoenix Force, again, but this time, no Dark Phoenix. He actually uses the power to protect Earth.
So he learned from the past, from Jean's struggles.
Right. He was responsible, used the power the right way, for a while anyway.
What happened?
He went up against Dr. Doom, and Doom, he's not someone you want to mess with. Even with the Phoenix Force, Cyclops couldn't beat him. Doom's just too good with magic, with warping reality.
Tragic end. But hey, in comics, death is rarely permanent, right?
Right. Cyclops comes back eventually, but the Phoenix Force, it moves on. Finds new hosts, new ways to influence things.
Keeps busy, huh?
Always. Sane, Thanos' son, then Quentin Quire, even gave Moon Knight a power boost for a bit. And now it's with Echo.
It's like this cosmic game of tag, isn't it? The Phoenix Force just zipping around the universe looking for someone to connect with.
And shaping destinies along the way, for good or for bad, who knows?
And somewhere in all this chaos, Jean Grey comes back to life. Again.
Because what's a Phoenix Force story without Jean Grey, right?
Exactly. It's like they're two sides of the same cosmic coin, forever linked. No matter what happens, they always seem to find their way back to each other. So after all this, I mean, from the beginning of the universe to multiversal craziness, what's the takeaway here? What can we learn from Jean Grey and the Phoenix Force?
Well, for me, it's about duality, the good and the bad. That struggle for control, for balance, creation and destruction, they're always there. Even the most powerful forces in the universe, they're not immune to emotions. They can be vulnerable, make mistakes.
It's a reminder that power, no matter how awesome it seems, comes with responsibility, and that even cosmic entities can be affected by human stuff. Love, loss, anger.
That's what makes this story so compelling, I think. It's not just about explosions and superpowers, it's about those deeper themes, stuff we can all relate to, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Jean Grey and the Phoenix Force, their story keeps evolving, makes us think about those big questions, the nature of existence, what it means to be human, all that good stuff. And I have a feeling this isn't the last we've seen of them. They'll be back. But for now, that's a wrap on our deep dive. What about you all out there? What are some of your favorite Jean and Phoenix moments? Share them in the comments. Until next time, stay curious and maybe, just maybe, let your own inner fire burn bright.